Welcome to Sports Talk, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football here on WYLN, and it's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined as always by first-year head coach of Hazleton Area High School football, Dennis Bookman. We're going to go over the game last Friday against Wilkes-Barre area, a look ahead to Coach Bookman's first ever home game as head coach against Tunkhannock, and that game you can see Friday night right here on WYLN. And we'll have a special guest from the Cougar football team. That's all coming up this week on Sports Talk.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton.
Have an electrical problem? Call the Wire Guys. Need lights installed? Call the Wire Guys. Anything and everything electrical, big or small. Our rigorously trained licensed electricians are fully screened, always on time, work neat, clean, and thorough. The Wire Guys. We're here 24/7, 365. All of our work is guaranteed, 100%. When you need electrical work, you need Wire
Guys. SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
Blaze Alexander Family Dealership is very proud to become a part of the Hazleton area. Come see us in Hazel Township or visit us online at blazehazleton.com. There's Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Buick, GMC, and Cadillac, and Mazda. Plus, a huge inventory of the finest quality pre-owned vehicles available, all with the Blaze Alexander lowest price guarantee. We have a long-held reputation for low prices, great selection, and top-notch service. Blaze Alexander Family Dealerships in Hazleton. We're taking the deals the other guys won't.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, your weekly source for Hazleton Area High School football. It's brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm your host, Marty Burns, joined by first-year head coach Dennis Bookman. And Coach, week number 2, and we thought the loss couldn't hurt more than the Crestwood game, but Friday night did. You had the ball for 36 and a half minutes offensively. Wilkes-Barre area didn't lead until the final minute, as they did in week 1 against Wyoming Valley West, and you come away with a tough 7-point loss where, when you really look back at it, the big plays hurt you, and being left with only one timeout late in that football game, those two things seem to be real keys, especially in that second half.
Absolutely. First of all, let's talk about the resiliency of our players. I mean, our staff. What an incredible job after a difficult loss to swallow against Crestwood. I feel, being there obviously Friday and then watching the film, you talk about a team that just got so much better within a week. And, the way we practiced and we prepared for Wilkes-Barre area, it's a really difficult one to be able to swallow, but as I've said many times, with the leadership we have, with our seniors, with the coaching staff we have, and with the other players that make up our program, it's made us hungrier now. Mm-hmm. We said last week, against Crestwood, we felt that we competed. I think Wilkes-Barre showed many people that we belong, and that's a really good 6A District 2 football team that was in a district final last year against Delaware Valley, and having the ball for over 36 and a half minutes. 355 yards of offense. Being able to come out in the second half with a 14-play, 70-yard drive that took over 8.5 minutes. I mean, we physically dominated that football game. And as you said, to come out on the short side, it definitely hurts. But, our rally cry this week is we have our first home game and against a very good Tunkhannock team who's also looking for their first win. We showed now that we belong. Now it's our time to start rolling off some wins.
And bright spots, obviously the running game much improved from week one. Saw defensive line again have another dominant performance, and I thought to cap that great 18 time off the clock drive, the 14 play drive, was that pass play in the corner. Kellen read it well, and Casadas ran a great route.
You couldn't find a player who had a better week of practice than Kellen Warner. And, you know, I've constantly told Kellen that he's the leader of our offense, and we go as Kellen goes. And this week at practice, he was resilient, he was tough, he took leadership, he took control. I thought he did the same thing during the game on Friday night. Incredible play. What can you say, too, about Matt Casadas? 9 catches, 99 yards, I believe he had in that game. Huge catch, obviously, for the go-ahead score there. At that point when we needed it on third down, we talked about, you know, those sophomore skill players, and they continue to jump up, and Matt Casadas was one, once again, offensively on Friday, who him and Connor Shamani, they're such threats on the edge, and they really stress defenses, and they force you to have to be able to play safety over the top, which at times I don't think Wilkes-Barre wanted to be able to do because they wanted an extra guy in the box to try to stop a run game. But they weren't able to do that because of how much stress we put on you on the edges with both those receivers. And like I said, you can't say enough about the guys up front. As we were talking about, you know, all those guys up front with, you know, Jimmy Bugda and Jason Beaver and Seth Hunsinger and Gavin Guza, a big-time game. Johan Robles, Leo Kelly, Dante Mattarella, Kevin Molesky. The way they blocked, you know, they're so unselfish. It's such a great group, and that's why I know we're so close. And I've said it to, you know, everybody and anybody that we're close to breaking this thing open in our program, and I know the players and coaches feel that way, and I certainly feel that way as well.
And we'll see it, we're going to get a look at the highlights shortly, but we'll see it in the highlights. Don't forget the blocking. We saw the one play that Bookman came to your sideline, went down the sideline. 2 key blocks by your receivers, Casadas and Shamani.
Absolutely, and we preach that all the time as well. You know, it's not a playoff when you don't have the football, and you're blocking for your brothers just as they do for you when they have the football.
So let's get a look at those highlights, and we'll start with the defense, and we start with a couple of guys that Coach mentioned, Mattarella and Hunsinger.
Just tough all night. We talked about, we call our box the 4-man surface and the 2 inside backers. There's no one better.
And how about this run after catch by Matthew Bookman?
We had him a little off balance with the stack look we came out with. We threw a now here to Matt Bookman. We see receivers blocking downfield as well.
And here, one of many catches on the night for Matthew Casadas.
This was a big-time combination route that we went to quite a bit because they were leaving the flat open and soft.
And here, Kellen keeps it himself.
We got the option game going a little bit on Friday night, and Kellen, he's savvy with the zone game, and now we're able to run the option with him as well, making decisions.
And here, Matthew Bookman, his first touchdown of the year.
This was big time. What can you say up front? And Matthew did his thing then after he broke through the front line.
And then on the ensuing kickoff, Ryan Matthews with a big hit on special teams.
We talk about special teams being that third phase, and in high school football especially, it makes all the difference. And Ryan Matthews shows up on film nonstop.
And we talked about a couple of these guys on the offensive line here, Hunsinger and Bugda on defense.
You know, Seth Hunsinger, Jimmy Bugda, we ask them to play every snap in the football game, and they get better as the game goes on.
We talk about your deep roster. Here we see Christian Price.
This is a big-time catch for Christian, and you know what? Such a confidence builder because I have all the faith in the world in number 11.
And we return to the passing game, another one to Matthew Casadas.
Casadas, as we talked about, a big night, 9 catches, 99 yards. He continued to show up when, you know, Kellen needed him and when the team needed him.
Back to the defense, and this time it's Hunsinger and Max Barrett.
It appeared we played on their side of the line of scrimmage most of the night defensively, and it's because of those front 4.
And here we have a trio, Matthews, Beaver, Molesky.
Once again, we talk about the way that our defensive line plays, but we talked about it in the preview show. Our inside backers are the most important piece to our defense, and no one better than Dante Mattarella and Kevin Molesky to be there.
And here a sack from Seth Hunsinger.
Seth was he was fired up after this, and he made sure to let me know that he had this sack, and it's a heck of a play by 58.
And here a tough run by Kevin Molesky.
He continued to keep his legs moving all night, and as the game started to wear on, he really started to wear on Wilkes-Barre area.
And look at all those black jerseys trying to bring him down from behind.
Absolutely. And look at all the white jerseys being able to push him forward as well. It's big-time effort.
And here a great play by Molesky and Mattarella.
This is big time by Kevin and Dante, and also there Connor Kundrat, who's able to take on the block there on the edge.
And here Kevin Molesky again.
He shows up all night, and we expect nothing less out of number 42, who is our team leader and continues to make plays.
He ran hard on Friday here, Matthew Bookman with a tackle.
This is big time. We asked Matthew to be our alley player on defense at a safety position if we're setting the edge, and also he causes a fumble there that I believe we may have recovered before we got out of bounds.
And we go back to the offense and 2 consecutive runs here by Matthew Bookman.
We started working number 1 because we had success, especially in that cheaters formation with Dante and Kevin as our lead blockers, who are just so tough and create constant holes for number 1.
And here's his second run, and this is the one up the middle.
And this is big time, and we continue to stress to our backs, and they did a great job of continuing to keep their legs moving.
Back to more defense, and who else? Seth Hunsinger.
Yeah, the same guys show up constantly, and that's a compliment. And that's, we owe it to them to be able to play defense with our front 4.
Here, part of this 14-play drive to start the third, a pass to Connor Shamani.
Connor, we talked about number 6 in the first week, and he's not a surprise to anyone anymore because he keeps showing up week after week now, play after play.
And here's the play I talked about. Look for Casadas and Shamani.
This is big time on stretch. You talked about the receivers downfield here, and just being unselfish and being able. Nobody cares who scores on our team. They want to win football games and they want to score touchdowns.
And I also mentioned this play. This is the one that got you the touchdown, the great pass to Casadas.
This is just it's a great combination there. Evan Mattias makes this play on his post route to allow Matt Casadas to come underneath, and then what a throw and what a catch by Kellen and Matt.
And this next play, we found it very hard to single one player out, so we call it a team tackle.
Well, what did we talk about, right? A defensive player's commitment to his team is where he is when the whistle's blown, and you see a bunch of white jerseys there on top of a Wilkes-Barre area player.
And here we get a big sack by Max Barrett.
Max Barrett, his motor never stops. You know what? Not only is he continuously better, he makes everyone else better because of the way he brings it in practice every day.
And that was a key play. Got you the ball back after an interception on 4th down here. Matthew Bookman again.
Absolutely, and we talk about consistently how we got that 1-2 punch with Matthew Bookman and Kevin Molesky, and they complement each other really well in the run game.
And said this a lot from Friday night. Another catch here by Matthew Casadas deep.
This was a wheel route, and as we talked about, great concentration by Matt. Johan Robles comes from behind the line of scrimmage here. You'll see him coming in the screen to try to help his teammate at the end. You talk about just commitment. I mean, that's incredible, running from about 40 yards away.
And we get another run here from Kevin Molesky for the touchdown.
It's safe to say that safety wanted no part of tackling Kevin Molesky when he was going into the end zone. And once again, those guys up front, I mean, look at the hole he was able to run through, and he finished the run properly.
Here, a pass to Connor Shamani left you with 4th and short.
This is a big 3rd down play here by Connor to be able to know where the sticks are and have the wherewithal once he caught the ball to roll to his outside shoulder.
Great shot here to see the second effort from Kellen to get the 1st down.
This is big time. I mean, look at Kevin Molesky, look at Matt Bookman, look at Kellen Warner. I mean, just the effort by our players is second to none.
And we have another pass play to Matthew Casadas.
He showed up all night on offense, and he's going to continue to get better and better every week, and it's scary to see where he's finally going to be throughout these weeks.
And here, Warner to Mattias.
Evan, you know what? He does all the little things right, and those little things continuously add up to big things, and he once again comes up with a big catch for us.
And here, a big loss, Robles and Ryan Mattias.
You talk about defense again. Max Barrett's right there, Connor Kundrat, Jimmy Bugda. I mean, 6-7 guys could have all made the play right there for our defense.
And the last play, a big pass play to try to give you a chance to tie the game to Matthew.
The big thing here is, and what's kind of, goes unnoticed as well, if we don't have the penalty on the kick return, We're out to about the 45, 46-yard line to start this drive. We end up moving the ball 45 yards. Who knows what happens? We start getting in a tight red zone area to be able to make this, more of an effort to be able to score towards the end of the game.
And you bring up a good point. I think we mentioned it on the broadcast Friday, is you haven't had a lot of penalties, but they just seem to come at the worst times.
Absolutely. We had 2 big penalties in the first half. When we were driving, we ran jet with Macasatis. He was down to the 11-yard line. We had a block in the back penalty there. We had a crucial holding penalty on a sprint draw where Matthew Bookman was able to get, I believe, plus 22, which brought us back, towards the end of the game there, that block in the back on the kick return. So we haven't had many penalties, but it seems like when we are penalized, it's in really crucial situations for us.
Okay, Coach, we're going to be saying goodbye to you, but not before we ask you one more question about our guest, one of your senior leaders, and it's going to be a special night for him come Friday night, just like you, maybe for different circumstances, Kevin Molesky.
I've told anybody who has listened from the beginning that Kevin Molesky is our leader. I could honestly say I love him like he's a part of my own family. Just like all those other seniors, but Kevin, especially to me, he's really special. He shows up every week, and not only just every week where everybody sees him on Friday nights, but every week, meaning each day in practice. He's the voice that all of our players listen to. He's the guy who's been through the highs and lows of this program. He played as a freshman. We talked a couple weeks ago, the first game that he started in our white package his freshman year, last game of the year against Crestwood. And from that point on, he hasn't looked back. He's been a key contributor of our football team since his sophomore year, and he's been a leader since his junior year. He was the guy who was the highest vote getter for being a captain, and that didn't surprise me one bit. He's the first guy I look to make sure that the pulse of our team is right and everybody has their head on. He's an extension of me, and I can't say enough about Kevin, and I tell every college recruiter as well that they're getting a steal with number 42.
Well, Coach, we'll see you at the end of the show to talk about Tunkhannock, but as we promised, up next, senior leader Kevin Molesky.
Sports Talk is presented in cooperation with Lehigh Valley Health Network, Hazleton.
At Grand Central, our family has been supplying your family with quality brand name furniture, mattresses, and appliances for over 3 generations. Whether you choose from our excellent selection of Lazy Boy, Catnapper, or England furniture, or from our fantastic selection of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we guarantee total comfort in every room of your home.
With expert advice,
everyday low prices,
plus interest-free financing for up to 60 months.
From our family to your family.
Grand Central in Hazleton. Everything to make your house a home.
Penn State Hazleton is improving the lives of others, starting in our community.
Providing degrees that meet the needs of the area.
Fueling entrepreneurship and contributing more than $36 million annually to the state's economy.
Researching the health of our local ecosystem on the Susquehanna River.
Together, our impact keeps growing, backed by the strength of 24 campuses and 700,000 alumni.
Sacco Chiropractic, East Broad Street in Hazleton has the healthcare you've been waiting for. Whether it's a chronic issue or something new, Sacco Chiropractic has the most up-to-date techniques and therapies to help with any ailment. From his days of playing football with the Cougars and then in college, Dr. Scott Sacco has an elite understanding of sports injuries and how to correct them. Whether you are an athlete, a weekend warrior, or a grandmother, we can help with multiple issues. Call today to see why relief is super, man. 570-497-4150.
Turn your existing connected devices into motion sensors. Plume. Know your home's every move.
Tri-County has been keeping your office up to speed since 1969. Everything your office needs: office supplies, personal and custom business forms, business cards, office furniture, new and used office equipment. copy, print, and scan solutions with wide format capabilities. Leasing is also available. Free off-street parking and free local delivery. Tri-County Business Machines, 117 East Broad Street in Hazleton, 570-459-0754. Family owned and operated since 1969.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet trap and sporting clay fields are professionally designed and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-455-4251 extension 1378 for more information.
Welcome back to Sports Talk here on WYLN, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. And as promised, joining me on set is senior leader number 42, Kevin Molesky. And Kevin, thanks for coming back on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk about, for you and your senior group, your home opener coming up Friday night. How is it going to feel for you guys as seniors? One more home opener.
It's our last one. We were all talking. We can't believe it's here. We've been playing together for, 10 plus years, since Valley Chiefs and up through middle school and freshman ball, and it's just crazy that it's our last home opener.
And let's talk about you defensively. Coaches mentioned how you and Dante patrol the inside of your linebacker core, and Coach always talks about the history, and there's always been great linebackers to come through Hazleton area. And to have yourself considered in that group of history of really good linebackers to play.
Right, it's an honor to be considered in that group. You have the Adrian Oteros, the Josh Zukowskis, the Nate Eaches. It's just that me and Dante are a part of that group is an honor, truly. And I'm just glad that we're looking good for home opener.
And we've talked about, Coach and I, about the play of the defensive line. How much easier does it make it for you guys, for them to play so well? You guys don't have to even work as hard because they're creating havoc.
So much easier. It's so much easier to read the play when the defensive line is just wreaking havoc. It makes it easier because the linemen are so concerned about the defensive line, they're not coming out on you as fast. So it's much easier to read and see the play.
And talk about Friday night offensively. Talked about the struggles you guys had running the football against Crestwood, but you guys came out, put up big numbers. Matthew had a nice night, over 100 yards, and you ran hard. And there gets to points when I got to think defenses are getting near the end of the game. They don't want to see you getting that football.
Yeah, the run game just wears a defense down. Being a defensive player too, when a team is consistently running the ball and having success with it, it really wears you down. And once we got that run game established, it really opened up a lot of opportunities for our offense.
And one of the interesting plays that you get to be a part of is the option. And just talk about how sometimes you have to be aware of your surroundings as far as guys coming at you, but you also got to be prepared because Kellen may pitch you the ball at any time.
Yeah, we started working that a lot in the off season and in practices. We worked that a lot just to kind of perfect the transition of getting the ball or what you're supposed to do if Kellen keeps it. And the option play has been big for us this year so far.
And one of the other things that really impressed me Friday night, I didn't really realize there wasn't fans in the stands till halftime. You guys were emotionally up from the start, and I would think that comes from you and the senior leaders getting the rest of the group ready, because you guys were in it from play one until we got to halftime, and I really noticed that there was really nobody in the stands.
Yeah, you zone in, you get that that tunnel vision where quite frankly, you don't even notice that fans aren't there. The senior leaders, me, Beeve, Kellen, Seth, we all come together and kind of say, fans or no fans, we still have to go out there and play our game and, play as hard as we could.
And then I would think the lesson coming into Friday is going to be, we've learned enough lessons. It's now time to start putting some W's on the board because, once you get that first one, they can snowball for it too.
Yeah, we just have to get over the hump. We completely dominated on Friday, and the fact that we didn't come out with a win, it was so upsetting over the weekend. And once we get over that hump, hopefully it starts a snowball effect and we just get on a roll.
And I would think to come out and defend home turf, Defensively, you guys know what you have to do. You're going to have a little bit of a different look. The quarterback isn't going to be so much looking to run as he is to pass. And then offensively, I would think you guys are going to want to continue what you did Friday night on the ground.
Yeah, the quarterback's definitely a weapon in the with the pass game. I think he threw for like 2,400 yards last year, so we're going to have to keep that in the back of our head. But at the same time, we go into every game with the same mentality of just, getting home to the quarterback and knowing your responsibilities and your assignments and, really playing well.
Well, Kevin, our time is up. It's been a pleasure having you on again. It goes quick.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Thanks a lot for joining us. Best of luck on your senior year, and especially Friday night, your final home opener.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Okay. We'll be back with Coach Bookman to talk about Tunkhannock right after this.
We've seen the concern in your eyes. You're scared, nervous, want to know if it's safe. The answer is yes. At LVHN, you'll see the extraordinary steps we take to get you the care you need safely. At all our facilities, you'll see temperature checks for everyone, that we sanitize every surface, and yes, you'll see that masks are required. What we look forward to seeing is relief in your eyes. Lehigh Valley Health Network. Your health deserves a partner.
CARES has immediate openings for life-sharing providers to mentor and provide care in their homes for an adult with intellectual disabilities.
Chris and I have known each other for 10 years, and it was suggested to us that we might want to try life-sharing. We have done that, and it's worked well for us.
I like the experience LifeShare gives me in the companionship.
If you would like to learn more, call CARES at 866-CARES-VIP.
BLB Auto Sales, a division of Barbush Automotive. BLB has deals that can't be beat. They carry trucks, vans, SUVs, sedans, and sports cars, and all at the lowest prices. Barbush Automotive can handle all vehicle repairs since they do it all. Check out their specials: oil change and filter, just $19.95. Alignment, $49.95. Professional and good people. Call 570-454-7571.
In life, some things just go together, like a burger and fries. And home and auto insurance from State Farm. Combine and save.
In Hazleton, talk to State Farm agent Pete Keselica.
Two Italian Guys Pizzeria. 3 West Diamond Avenue in Hazleton has all your favorites, from pizza, hoagies, salads, entrees, wings, and sides. Always made with the freshest ingredients. Call them at 570-459-2783.
Welcome back to Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network. Coach, your first ever home game as head coach, Tunkhannock Friday night. We'll be here, and we'll have it here on WYLN at 7. We have about a minute left. What do you see is going to be the keys to get that elusive first victory?
Number one, protect home field. We talk about what a special place Harmon Geist is, and for our seniors to have this be their first home opener, it's going to be special. We definitely will be prepared, and we're hungry for our first win. Number one, we're going to have to continuously run the football and consistently be able to get yards on the ground. They have a really good quarterback in Jack Chilson, as we talked about. They're going to look to put the ball in the air. We're going to look to control the football and be able to physically beat them down. Defensively, we have to limit the big plays. And bottom line is our run defense has to continuously be as stout as it's been, but we got to get better in the pass game. And we absolutely will on the defensive side of the ball. Our players were confident. We don't practice, we don't prepare like an 0-2 football team. And, as Kevin obviously said when he was on, and I think he echoes the sentiment of everybody on our football team right now, we're ready to get in the win column, and once we're in the win column, we'll start rolling.
Coach, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. For Kevin Molesky and Coach Bookman, I'm Marty Burns saying so long. Join us next week. We go over the Tunkhannock game. We'll look ahead against Pittston area. Remember, Friday night's game will be live here on WYLN, and then Sports Talk next week, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.